Have you ever felt like you are working really hard, creating good content, serving diligently, but nothing seems to land? It seems like you're shouting into the void, and the people who show up in response to your voice do not seem to be the people that you were called to serve. You have a gift, there's no doubt about it. You're solving a real problem because you have evidence to show. But no matter what you do, your message still seems like it's scattered all over the place, and your results appear to be inconsistent. If that's you, it's likely because you are still unclear on who you've been really sent to serve. And until you identify who your audience is, your impact will always feel diluted, your message will remain generic, and your energy will be wasted. Today, I'm going to help you name the specific person heaven has assigned you to help, so that you can stop trying to serve everybody and start serving the ones your grace was assigned to. Because your assignment has a face, your impact has a name. Let's find it today. Why is it important that you identify the person that you were sent to serve? You see, in the kingdom of God, callings are always related to people. Your calling is about people. It's not about tasks, it's not about assignments, it's not about the things you do, but it's about the transformation that you get in people's lives. Moses was sent specifically to the Israelites. Apostle Paul was sent specifically to the Gentiles. Even Jesus, even if he was sent to save the whole world, he prioritized discipling the 12 to begin with. And during his earthly ministry, a woman came to him asking for healing. And he said to her, I am sent specifically to the household of Israel. When you try to serve everybody, you dilute the grace of God on your life. When you serve the wrong audience, you exhaust yourself because your grace flows towards your specific assignment. It doesn't flow just towards everybody's expectations because your assignment is specific, your assignment is strategic, and your people are specific. Your assignment has a face, your impact has a name. You're not there to impress everybody. You're not called to impress the masses. You're here to transform the ones that heaven has entrusted you to. That's why it's important that you identify these people so that your impact can get to the level that God intends for it to get to, and your purpose will be fulfilled. Here are some common mistakes that people make as they try to identify the people that they've been called to serve. Let's talk about some of those common mistakes. First of all, they try to appeal to everybody. In trying to become the person that God has called you to be, trying to fulfill your purpose and maximize your potential and make the impacts that you know that heaven wants you to make. Many people trying to do that out of the good intention of their heart try to appeal to everybody. That's when you hear people say things like, the gospel or my message is for everyone. And yes, the gospel is indeed for everyone. But the way you are sent to deliver it, the way you are wired to deliver it, the way you are gifted to deliver it is for a specific group of people. It's for a specific person. The way you are sent to deliver the message through your ministry or through your business is targeted to a specific person. So you cannot effectively reach everyone. If you try to reach everyone, you will spread yourself out too thinly and your impact will be minimized. When you try, you will water down your message. You will exhaust yourself and you will confuse the very people who you were sent to serve. Because in your attempt to minister and to serve to everybody, you will not have a unique voice. Your voice will be varied and your message will be too complex. Instead of resonating deeply with a few, when you try to serve everybody, you will barely register with many people. I experienced this firsthand when I started my coaching business. I was convinced everybody needed to profit from their purpose. My passion was to see people step out of unfulfilling jobs and begin to pursue God's purpose for their lives and profit from it by working in ways that fulfill them. I tried to speak to everyone. I was speaking to believers. I tailored my message to non-believers, to professionals, to creatives, name it. Everybody had something from me. But in those days, my message did not gain much traction. I did not get the number of clients, first of all, I was hoping to get. I did not see the impact on the results I was hoping to see in people's lives until by the grace of God, I began to zero my message down to specifically pastors, ministry leaders, Christian professionals, and Christian authors. And then I began to see the results that I really thought I should be seeing. That's when the grace of God, I believe, that is on my life, started flowing and the audience began to respond. You may even notice that when you focus, your words carry more weight. That's what I found. That when I focus on a specific group of people, these people knew I was talking to them, and I knew I was talking to them as well. So my words carried more weight. My words had more impact. When you focus, these people that you focus on begin to look for you. They start seeking you out instead of you chasing them. That was my experience. That was what I felt. Because clarity beats breath every time. Clarity beats breath every time. Being assigned to someone means you are released from the pressure of trying to reach everybody else. And that is freeing. And that is how we begin to work towards impact and fulfillment. That's the first mistake that many people make as they try to get into this business of fulfilling their purpose and profiting from it. They try to serve everybody, but that doesn't work. A second mistake that people make is that they assume that their audience looks exactly like them. Listen to me. Just because you've been through something doesn't mean you've been sent to serve people that are just like you. Sometimes your audience is completely different from who you are, but they need what you carry. For example, you may have grown up in a church context, but you are called to serve corporate leaders, people who have never stepped foot into a church. Or you may have experienced poverty, but you find yourself assigned to guide affluent entrepreneurs towards kingdom principles. I've seen clients discover their grace flows most powerfully towards people who at first glance didn't match the story. It didn't look like they resembled these people or these people resembled them. But when they began to work with these people, they got results at levels they had never gotten before, because that was where God had called them to. These were the people that God has assigned them to. Your story is important because it equips you, but it doesn't always define your audience. It's important that you pay attention to where your grace flows, and that may surprise you, the people that you were called to serve. A third mistake that people make as they try to identify the people that God has called them to serve is that they copy someone else's audience. They see someone who appears to be successful by serving a particular kind of audience, and they try to serve that kind of audience. They see someone serving, for example, women entrepreneurs or single fathers or creatives, and they mimic it without discernment. They think if it's working for them, then it surely should work for me because this is a group that is receptive. But what they don't realize is that that group is receptive to that person's message. That group is receptive to that person's grace and that person's gift. If you do not seek clarity on your own assignment, you may just find that mimicking or copying someone else's audience will result in frustration. For example, you might see someone thriving by helping women entrepreneurs and assume that that's your path too, because you feel called to serve women. But when you try it, it feels forced. It feels fruitless. Or you try to replicate someone's branding and find that it just doesn't resonate. It's not you. It doesn't work. Just because it's worked for someone else doesn't mean that you have been assigned to that same group of people. Your grace flows where you are called, not where others are succeeding. Stay in your lane. Serve your people. That is where you will see impact. That is where you will maximize the hand of God and the gift that God has given you. And finally, the final mistake I want to talk about today that people make as they try to define the audience that they've been called to serve is that they define their audience only by demographics. Demographics like age, gender, income, and so on. Instead of digging deep into their struggles, instead of digging deep into their desires, instead of digging deep into their spiritual readiness to receive the message that they have. For example, you might think, I serve women between 30 and 50 who earn 6 figures. But that tells you nothing about what they're actually struggling with, because there are women between 30 and 50 who earn 6 figures who are at different stages of life, who are experiencing different things. It doesn't tell you how they are prepared to receive the thing that God has given you for them. A more powerful understanding of your audience may sound something like this. It may sound something like you saying, I serve high achieving women who feel spiritually disconnected and are desperate to integrate their faith with their success. Notice the difference. The first one is just data. Women between 30 and 50 who earn six figures. The other includes discernment. It understands the disconnect that these women feel between their business and their faith. You need both. You need data. You need this discernment. But discernment is what unlocks impact. When you discern your audience, you can tailor your message to them. And that is when you will see impact at levels that you probably have never seen before. These mistakes keep people spinning. It keeps you busy. You're producing content. You think you're serving, you're putting your messages out, but it's ineffective because your audience is not focused, because all your effort is scattered and unaligned with the audience that God has actually assigned to you. You're chasing other people's audience, but the audience that God has assigned to you are somewhere over there waiting for you to discover your unique voice and speak to them in a language that they alone will understand, so they can trust you and make themselves available for you to serve them. This is why I'm going to talk to you now on how to discern your assignment. How do you know the people that you have been assigned to? Let's talk about how to discern the people that you have been assigned to, so that you can move from confusion to clarity and kingdom impact. Here are some questions and prompts to guide you. Let's take some time with this, because the more deeply you reflect, the more clearer your audience becomes. And I don't want you as well to think that this is something that has to become perfect on day one. It's okay to start unsure. It's okay to start unclear. It's okay to start with some confusion and with some uncertainty. But don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for perfect clarity before you take that first step, because it is in the place of service, it is in the place of putting your message out there that you will be able to zero into the people that God has actually called you to serve. Each of these questions I'm going to ask you today is an opportunity to listen to both your experience and the leading of the Spirit of God, because He's the one who called you. He's the one who assigned these people to you, and He's the one who can make a match between your gift and your audience. You might want to journal some of the answers that come to your mind as you respond to these questions, because these are not just checklist questions. These are discernment exercises that will help you uncover the person that you have been truly assigned to serve. To begin with, number one, reflect. I need you to reflect on who already responds to your voice. Do you want to know who you've been called to serve, so that your message will hit the bullseye, so that your impact will be significant, so that the results you get will be massive? Reflect on the people who are already responding to your voice, who is already responding to your work, who already appreciates your presence. Look at the evidence already in your life, because it's there. Because your gift is there. The grace of God is already on your life. So ask yourself, who is already responding to this? Notice the people who consistently resonate with you. You share the same message with different groups of people, but one particular group of people seem to get this message a lot more. They engage with your posts on social media. They reach out to you when you put something out there. When you put events up, they are the ones who attend, or they're the ones who keep coming back to ask for more from you. They're the ones who come to ask for explanation of the things that you put out. It's not just about guessing or inventing your audience. It's about observing who already seems drawn to your grace and your message. You know these people by patterns, because they show up repeatedly without you chasing them. They tell you things, you say exactly what I needed to hear. That's what I needed to hear today. And it just came out of your mouth the same way I needed to hear it. They lean in when you speak. They take action when you give instructions. And they bear fruit when you sow seeds of guidance into their lives. Reflect. Who are the people who already respond to your voice? That's the first way you know who your audience is. Number two, consider. Consider whose language you already speak. Whose language do you already speak? Whose pain do you intuitively understand? Maybe you can read between the lines when they talk because you've already walked close to their pain and their struggles in the past. Look at where you instinctively know what someone means, even when they are vague, when they are unable to say what they really mean, but you're able to drill deep and understand what they're actually trying to say. Perhaps you hear what they are not actually saying, and that is what they really mean to say or what they should be saying. This is often a sign that you've been called to these people because you carry not just words but understanding that penetrates deeper beyond the surface. Pay attention to where you can finish their sentences even before they do so themselves. You feel their frustration and you offer words that seem to read their minds. That's a clue. And these are your people. Number one, reflect. Who already responds to your voice? Number two, consider whose language you already speak. Number three, ask, who do you feel a holy burden for? Keeps you up at night in prayer. If there was one condition or one situation that you could eliminate from the world today for a particular group of people, what condition will that be? And for what group of people will you be doing that? Whose breakthrough will bring you as much joy as your own breakthrough? Whose breakthrough would you today pay any price to see that they get that breakthrough? Look for the people you find yourself interceding for, even when you don't intend to. Notice who's on your heart during your quiet moments and whose victories move you as if they were your own. This kind of holy burden often reveals your assigned audience because it ties your joys and your compassion to their growth and their freedom. Ask yourself, who do you feel a holy burden for? Because that burden is not an accident. It was put there by divine orchestration. Finally, examine. Examine, where does your gift and the problem you solve meet real felt needs in people's lives? What do people thank you for? Where do they actually see results in their lives when you work with them? Look at where your contribution produces visible, tangible change in people's lives. For example, do people leave conversations with you saying they feel lighter, they feel hopeful, they feel like someone finally heard them and someone finally understood them? Do they apply something you actually suggested to them and actually see results, real, tangible, transformative results in their life? Perhaps they say, you really opened my eyes. That conversation with you really opened my eyes and I saw things I never saw before. Oh, you helped me see what I couldn't see myself. I've been trying so hard to untangle this confusion, but just a 5-minute conversation with you opened my eyes to see things like I've never seen them before. Those are the areas where your gift meets their needs. And those moments reveal the people you are truly. Number one, we said, is to reflect. Reflect on who really or who already responds to your voice. Number two, consider whose language you speak. People who understand you and people who you communicate effortlessly with. Ask yourself, who do you feel a holy burden for? Who keeps you up at night? Examine also where your gift and the problem that you solve meet real felt needs in people's lives. And of course, because it is God who assigns these people to you, He's the one who can give you the clearest revelation of who these people are. Please pray. After you've reflected, considered, asked, and examined, it's critical that you pray. It's critical that you ask, and you ask God that He shows you who these people that He has called you to serve. Because it's too dangerous to live with your gift and throwing it out there in a trial and error fashion, trying to hit the people that your gift is meant for. It's critical that you understand who you have been called to serve. I need you this week to write down in your journal or make some voice notes about who you've been called to serve. Perhaps this phrase might help. If you begin by saying, I believe I am sent to serve, you fill in the blank. I believe I am sent to serve, you fill in the blank. Is it single mothers? Is it stay-at-home moms? Is it single fathers? Is it business people? Who have you been sent to serve? Begin to write down the person, the group of people that you believe that you've been called to serve. Write down 3 to 5 traits about these people. Write down their struggles. Write down their desires that you believe that they have. Write down the thing that you are burdened for them about, and begin to pray over it. Begin to create something specifically for these people in your mind. Let your next few social media posts be targeted at these people. In your prayer time, dedicate some specific time to pray for these people. Don't worry about getting it perfect at first, like I said before, because clarity comes through obedience and movement. As you begin to serve this group of people, you will find that they will begin to gravitate towards you. You will find that your voice becomes clearer. You would find that you begin to make impact at a level that you've never made before. Hear me today. Your audience is not random. Your audience is your assignment. Speak boldly to them. You're not here to talk into a void. You're not here to talk into a crowd. You are here to serve the ones that heaven placed in front of you. This week, go out there, speak to them, build something for them, and create something for them. And let's see the impact that you have been designed to create even this week. God bless you. Bye-bye.